From the weekend warriors to the renovation dreamers, Lowe's has you covered. We know you take pride in every project you take on. We share that pride, so we're celebrating with Craftsman Days. Tackle your yard with outdoor power equipment, fix that sink with hand tools and flashlights, and tinker under the hood with mechanics tool sets. Whatever your next project is, you'll find what you need during Craftsman Days. Shop online or in-store at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, U.S. only.
It's Macy's July 4th sale with our lowest prices of the season on summer updates for your home, like 20 to 50% off outdoor furniture and the Radley 5-piece sectional Shea sofa, $1,999. And get a free adjustable base or box spring with qualifying mattress purchase. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The following is a HoopBall presentation.
Good morning, HoopBallers, and welcome to another edition of HoopBall's DFS Today. This is your Tuesday, June 29th edition. I am your host, Santino Cacone. I'll be running this one solo for you. I have the Eastern Conference Finals. We have a Game 4. The Bucks lead 2-1. Hawks won Game 1 on the road. Bucks won Game 2 at home. And then Bucks won Game 3 on the road. Game 4 is in Atlanta. Before we get into that, very quickly, I do want to give a quick shout out to our guys over at MyBookie, simply the best sports book around. If you're not familiar with MyBookie, they have everything you need. It is a fully fledged casino platform right at the edge of your fingertips. They have any sports bet you want to make. They have all casino games, table games, slots, whether it's virtual, live dealers, any type of thing that you want, all at your fingertips. And it's as easy as betting, winning, and getting paid. And if you'd like, you can get your first deposit matched halfway up to $1,000 by simply adding the promo code HoopBall upon joining. Again, that's adding the promo code HoopBall, HoopBall, when you are signing up. I also want to give a quick shout out over to our guys at Manscaped, the #1 men's below the waist grooming out there. There's not enough good things to say about Manscaped, but they do have a new product. If you guys have been longtime listeners, you're familiar with the Lawnmower 3.0. Well, guess what? They now have the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 and the Ultra Smooth package, a brand new product, which is fantastic. The Lawnmower 3.0 I personally have. It is awesome. I can only imagine that the 4.0 trimmer is even better. It's available only in the USA and Canada right now. Has a 7,000 RPM trimmer and a bunch of other stuff. But you also get the crop exfoliator, the crop gel, the crop shaver, all the other goodies that come with this package. And right now you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code HoopBall20. That's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code HoopBall20 only at manscaped.com. So it's dad bod season, time to get smooth. All right, guys, let's get right into this. This one should be a quick one today. I'll run through it quick. I usually do these about 20 minutes or so. I think I could cut this in 15, knock this out in 15. All right, we have Game 4 of the Milwaukee Bucks and Atlanta Hawks series. For a spread on this one, we have the Bucks as currently at 7-point road favorites. The game total is 222. On the injury report, we have for the Bucks, Giannis is probable. Dante DiVincenzo is out for the Hawks. We have Brandon Goodwin, DeAndre Hunter out, Bogdan Bogdanovic probable, and the big one, Trae Young is questionable. Well, that is certainly news to keep an eye on out for? We'll start with the Bucks. They are the away team. They've had some solid success these last couple games here. They won by a nice 11 points in Game 3. They smacked them up in Game 2. I remember with about 5-6 minutes left in the second quarter, it was a 10-point game, 9-point game. It was very close. Said, let me just jump on, do this podcast really quickly so I can catch the entire second half. Done with the podcast, right at the end of halftime, I look at the score. All of a sudden, it's like a 30-point game, and I didn't know what happened. But yeah, that game turned into a massive blowout. But here we are, Game 4, Bucks-Hawks. I'll start with the Bucks. And a lot of this to me is going to depend on, is Trae Young going to be available, and is he going to be effective and play for a while? Obviously, we want as many big studs as we can get. It's only a showdown slate anyway, but how competitive the Hawks can be without Trae Young is a question, and if they're not competitive, they're probably going to have Coach Bud will use any excuse he can to take it easy on his guys, and I would assume that if this game gets out of hand, Giannis, Middleton, Holiday, they're going to play a lot less. With that said, I'll assume Trae is playing, and I'll assume he's going to give it as all he can. Giannis, obviously, highest priced guy on the slate, and for good reason. He is the safest guy on the slate. He's played 41 minutes exactly in 2 of the 3 games, sans the blowout. He's been shooting fantastic in this series. He's averaging over 22 shots a game.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late, and that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the weekend warriors to the renovation dreamers, Lowe's has you covered. We know you take pride in every project you take on. We share that pride, so we're celebrating with Craftsman Days. Tackle your yard with outdoor power equipment, fix that sink with hand tools and flashlights, and tinker under the hood with mechanics tool sets. Whatever your next project is, you'll find what you need during Craftsman Days. Shop online or in-store at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, U.S. only.
He's been really awesome. He has 30-point games in both games. He's played over 40 minutes and double-digit rebounds with a solid amount of assists, steals, and all the goodies to go with it. So if this game stays competitive, Giannis obviously is somebody that you want in your lineup. Chris Middleton, he bucked that trend that I've been talking about for a while. He bucked the trend completely in that last game on the road. It was a monster road performance from our guy, Chris Middleton. Dropped 38 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, shot 15 of 26 from the field, and 6 of 12 from 3 in 42 minutes. I've been saying this pretty much every podcast. His home and road splits have been night and day this year. So this was a welcome surprise and a welcome addition for Chris Middleton, and something we could possibly see continue to go forward. He's now $10K though, so he's a bit more pricey. He is only $800 less than Trae Young, and I would prefer Trae out of those two, if Trae's healthy, obviously. But he had himself a monster game, and kudos to him. Yeah, if you're not going to fit Giannis in your lineup and you think this game's going to be a blowout, Chris Middleton's probably safe to play the same amount of minutes or more. And if you want to load up on, save that $2,000, get Trae, Middleton, and then be able to get Holiday and Collins and all that, not a bad option, but I'd prefer Giannis of those 3 guys. Then you got Drew Holiday. He's $9,400. He's slightly less expensive than Chris Middleton, who I would rather have Chris Middleton as well. I think the price tags are very, very good on all of these guys. Everybody has played, the big 3 has played a whopping amount of minutes in those 2 competitive games, and around 30 in the blowout there. So Coach Bud has been giving his guy extra minutes here. His guys. Brook Lopez, not someone I really want to look at 7-4. When he was last series, he was near 6K and under, which was fantastic price, but now 7-6 is not something I really want to go to. I'm looking right at the other side, and I see Capella and Collins for not too much more money, Herder and Bogdanovich for a little less, and I just like the alternatives a lot more than paying up for Brook Lopez at nearly at 7,400. But Bobby Portis, he's getting some minutes in this series, which has been more than what he was getting before, and I'm glad to see it because he has been a per-minute monster all year, and he's played 15, 18, and 17 minutes in the 3 games here, has over 22 fantasy points in 2 of the 3 games, double-digit points in both those games too. So Bobby Portis is a guy that I really like here. I think 4,400 is a nice price tag for him. This is a series where he can play because there are a lot of size, and he's been bringing back solid value here. So he's a guy that I'm looking at. PJ Tucker, another one, only 3,600. He's played nearly 35 minutes in 2 of the 3 games. Everybody played a little bit less in that blowout game for the regulars, but PJ Tucker's been playing a lot of minutes in this one as well. He has 15, 20, and 18 fantasy points. That's value right there. So he's bringing back value, and he's very cheap, especially on a top-heavy slate like this. So him and Portis are 2 guys that I'm very interested in. And Pat Connaughton, 29 minutes in Game 1, 32 minutes in Game 3. He's getting a lot of run. The production hasn't been there, 10, 15, and 18 fantasy points, but the run is there, and eventually he could crack the 20-minute or 20-point mark, and he doesn't really cost you much, only 3,200. If you're digging down there and you don't have enough for a PJ Tucker who has been bringing back better returns right now, and you're about at 3K or 3.2 where Connaughton is, it's going to be hard to find someone who's playing 30 minutes and has the potential to get over 20 points. So that's why I like him there. And he could get a couple extra minutes also if the game does get out of hand, but so could the rest of these backup guys. But that's pretty much it. Giannis is my favorite preferred guy over from Brook Lopez up. And then I think Portis, Tucker, Connaughton all make sense as rock solid value there. Portis obviously gets the least amount of minutes of the 3, but he's the best per minute guy, and he usually brings the best returns. Tucker, Connaughton, Tucker's been solid. Connaughton's been solid, but they get good run, and it's hard to find that under 4K on a showdown slate. So that's why I like those guys. That's where I'll be looking at heavy on Milwaukee. On the Atlanta side, it's a lot of question marks here. As we know, Trae Young is questionable for this game. We're not sure if he's going to play. He has a bone bruise in his foot, according to Shams. And if Shams is saying it, then yes. He stepped on an official's foot in Game 3. He went to the locker room briefly, but came back. We'll see how the swelling or what swelling occurred overnight and the next day. So definitely something to keep an eye on. He's probably going to gut it out. It's Game 4. If they lose it, they're pretty much nailing their coffin. But I would rather spend $1,200 more on Giannis if Trae plays, depending on the pregame report. So that's something we're going to definitely have to keep an eye out for. If he has full range of motion in that foot, he's doing fine, nothing's bothering him, then yeah, I'd want him in my lineup as well alongside, and I'd push Middleton to the side. But if there's something wrong with him, I'd just rather pay $1,200 more for Giannis. Even in a blowout scenario, and they both play, they'll both get probably limited, so you can expect a higher ceiling on the other end there. And depending on what is going on with Trae Young, Bogdanovich's ceiling and his potential point floor do increase. If Trae Young does miss this game, Bogdanovich and Lou Williams become fantastic plays for me on mid-tier and value. They're going to get a lot of run. They're going to pretty much run the offense just like when Trae missed a little time later in the season, I should say. So Bogdanovich at 6,400. If Trae can't go, I'd love that price tag. If he's limited at all, or if he's limited big or pretty significantly, whatever the case is, Bogdanovich still makes a lot of sense to me, so I'll probably have a good few shares of him depending on the news. And Lou Williams for only 2,800. He's definitely going to see more minutes. If something's wrong with Trae, he's going to run a lot more offense as well. But John Collins, Clint Capella, they both have solid series so far. Collins didn't play too much in the last game. The last two, actually, he had big foul trouble. So that's something to keep an eye out for there. But Clint Capella has been steady. Game 2, he was a dud. Game 3, not so much. I do prefer him and Collins over Brook Lopez, as I mentioned. Collins is 1,400 more. Capella is only 600 more. Capella makes more sense realistically money-wise for the people like the people that I've been talking about, how I want to go. And that's where I would want to go out of those three. I think Collins has the highest upside of the three, but I don't know if I'll be able to fit him in my lineups. And Capella just makes some sense there. He's due for a rock-solid game. Another guy who plays a ton of minutes is Herter, but I really don't want to pay $7K for him, especially if Trae Young is limited. That means I'm going to have a hefty share of Bogdanovic at 6,400. That'd be one of my favorite. That'd be my favorite value play or mid-tier play of the night if Trae is limited and or especially if he can't go. And that's mostly what I'm looking at here. I know there's Gallinari, there's Reddish who just came back. He's for some reason he's 4,800, but that's a hefty price tag for me to pay for a guy who missed months of the season, who first came back since late February. But I do think Lou Williams makes a lot of sense. Bogdanovic might make a lot of sense, and if Trae's playing but limited also, he still makes sense. The guy, if you really want to dig deep down and just throw someone in there because you're going heavy, Okongwu. Only 1K. You know he's going to get about possibly 10 minutes this game. He can bring you back about 10 points. You don't really need much if you're putting $1,000 in there. That means you're loading up on some high-priced guys. And in that scenario, I think Okongwu is the one guy you can expect to actually see the court and get you a couple points there on both teams. Maybe Thanasis too, but that's like a lot bigger of a crapshoot to me. Crap shot, however you say it. Or Jordan Nwora can see some time too, but that's in case of a blowout. And if it is no Trae Young and it would be a blowout, then Jordan Nwora at 1,000 makes a lot of sense for a punt play in your tournaments as well. But that's it for who I like. We're at 15 minutes. I'll do my player tiers quickly, see what happens here. So my favorite high price play of the night, yes, right now, as of the news that I know the night before, it's going to be Giannis. We'll see what happens with Trae, and we'll see how everything plays out. But as of this moment, Giannis is my favorite high-priced play. He's 12,000. He's 1,200 more than Trae Young and 2K more than Chris Middleton, who are the number 2 and 3 highest-priced guys on the slate. So you are going to be paying a pretty penny, but it's a showdown slate, and you can't not want Giannis. He's just been dominant this series. Even in Game 1's loss, he was fantastic. He shot 14 of 25, and he was making his free throws. My favorite mid-tier play of the night, I'm going to go with Bogdanovic. Yes, he's 6,400. I am not particularly huge on everybody else. I guess Capella just misses the mid-tier here. But I'm not particularly huge on anyone else. And while I'm going by the news now and assuming Trae Young plays, we 100% don't know that, and he might be limited. We'll figure that out. But anything that limits him or causes him to play off ball or whatever the case may be is slightly more, Bogdanovic is a big beneficiary of that, as is Lou Williams. But Lou Williams would probably need him to miss. But right now, Bogdanovic is a big beneficiary of that, and I'm going to go with him for this moment and possibly hope that he gets even more run or more ball handling duties and offense initiation responsibilities. My favorite value play of the night is going to be Bobby Portis. I think we have quite a few value plays that we can throw in there, and we can get a couple value plays and a couple studs in here and make it really nice. But Bobby Portis, there are a couple people that play more minutes than him down there, but Bobby Portis has been the best per minute guy of that group all season long. And now he's playing minutes in the high teens with potential for a little bit more if this game does get out of hand. Again, sans Trae Young if he happens to miss. And 20 points is well within reason. He's done it 2 out of the 3 games so far, and he could easily do that again. He's averaging over 20 points this series, and you're only paying $4,400 for him, so I think he can hit value here as well. And that does it for my player tiers and the Tuesday podcast for the Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and Atlanta Hawks. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter at Santino Cacone. You could follow HoopBall on Twitter at HoopBall, and then find your team, the type of podcast you want to look at, on all that good stuff. HoopBall fantasy, fantasy season long, whatever the case may be. But we also have an Instagram account. It's also HoopBall. But thank you guys for tuning in. And if you would like, wherever you listen to your podcast, give us a rate review. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. We'll try and get rid of what you don't like. We'll try and add what you do like. But again, thank you for tuning in. Good luck and have a great night. Peace.
From the weekend warriors to the renovation dreamers, Lowe's has you covered. We know you take pride in every project you take on. We share that pride, so we're celebrating with Craftsman Days. Tackle your yard with outdoor power equipment, fix that sink with hand tools and flashlights, and tinker under the hood with mechanics tool sets. Whatever your next project is, you'll find what you need during Craftsman Days. Shop online or in-store at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, U.S. only.
It's Macy's July 4th sale with our lowest prices of the season on summer updates for your home, like 20 to 50% off outdoor furniture. And the Radley 5-piece sectional Shea sofa, $1,999. And get a free adjustable base or box spring with qualifying mattress purchase. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.